Welcome to Shad Life. Well, I am here at the XL Energy Mountain Bike Park for a couple of reasons. One, we just got a bunch of rain yesterday, and this is the only trail that's like an all-weather trail, so it should be pretty dried out. And two, it's relatively flat. There's not a lot of climbing here. Well, why in the world would I want a relatively flat trail? Because I am gonna ride the Swampmaster. You guys haven't seen this bike on my channel in a while, and you might have even thought I got rid of it, but nope, I still got it. If you don't know what the Swampmaster is, this came out a couple of years ago. It is 100mm travel BMX bike, both front and rear. There's a long story behind this bike, and I think I'll just link you to that, like when I first originally unboxed it and stuff, and you can find out more info about it. But for now, I'm gonna see how it works as a mountain bike. And if you're wondering why I keep looking off in the distances, there's a whole water ski area over here, and I keep like seeing I don't know if they're gonna hit the jump or what they're gonna do, but anyway, so GMBN just recently was doing a video about whether certain bikes were mountain bikes or not, right? And this one came up and they said it was a mountain bike. Well, we'll see. Let's go find out if this works out good as a mountain bike. Two things I already know right off the bat that will make it more challenging. One, it is a single speed, and yes, I've ridden single speed mountain bikes before, so that's not too crazy, but you know, for most people they want gears, right? And the bigger issue is that it's got a 25.4 seat post inner diameter, and what that means is that you can't put a dropper on it or anything like that. And so I kind of have to just have the seat at this comfortable medium height, and I'll be standing almost the entire time that I'm riding, just like I would on a regular BMX bike, because without a dropper you're not going to be able to raise the seat to the ideal height for sitting and pedaling around. So yeah, let's get to it and go shred this thing. So for starters, let's just go over these rocks right here. So we're thinking rock garden, right? Yep, handled the rock garden. Now there's this little pump track, which this bike feels more at home here. Yep. Definitely felt more at home on the little pump track. And it handled the rock garden, but I noticed right away the smaller diameter wheels get caught in the pitches much easier. I guess that's what you'd call it, or holes, divots, whatever you want to call it. Alright, let's see how it does over these boards. And then there's kind of a rock thing here. Shorter wheelbase, smaller wheels. Well, if you ever wondered whether you want to get good at standing and riding, there's one way to do it. Because sitting down is just not really enough. Unless I wanted to raise the seat way up and then have it in the way on every feature and jump I rode. Narrower bars, that's kind of nice. Yeah, I have to say the suspension definitely takes the edge off when riding that kind of stuff. Whew, getting worked. Okay, there's trail crews right over there, and I know I've got a loop around here, so this trail goes right where they're at, so I just got to keep my head up and make sure they're working on the trail. They don't run into each other. Usually you'd see signage, I think, but maybe they're not in the way, so it doesn't matter. Oh.
There's one leaner going across there.
Who's that? Hold on. No, my name got called out. Alright, we'll see how this thing rides. Skinnies. The nice thing about this bike, if I do slip off, I definitely more wobbly, but because it's a quicker steering bike, but I don't have a derailleur to worry about. It actually, you know, it's interesting, whoop, is that you can correct easier, like because it is quicker steering, smaller wheels. I feel like when you can probably see the handlebars there moving around quite a bit because it feels less stable, but you can also more easily correct, if that makes any sense. Oh, I just got done climbing, and it's not like a major amount of climbing. It feels like a major amount of climbing on this thing. Whew. So I gotta catch my breath. Stop up here, talk about a few things before I go hit this jump line. All right, the Swampmaster out in the wild. Yeah, it's pretty fun actually. It's very different, but it's a lot of fun. So a couple of things about this bike is most BMX bikes have like a 75-degree head angle, and I know to any of you that are mountain bikers out there, that seems super steep, right? Which it is. You get on any 20-inch BMX bike, if all you ride is mountain bikes, and it feels sketchy to you because you're not used to it. But 75 is the standard, and it explains why you can see these riders doing all these kind of crazy tricks and stuff like that. The Swampmaster has a 71-degree head angle, which is very slack in BMX terms, like really slack. So and it does feel weird to me when normally just pedaling around, it actually has a little bit of that flop to it, and you wouldn't think so, but it must have something to do with, like, because you have a 20-inch wheel and so on and so forth, whatever. I don't know why, but 71 feels really slack. And one of the issues with the WeThePeople Swampmaster is they didn't make it long enough. So if you went and watched that video when I introduced this bike a couple of years ago, or you know anything about this whole story, is there's another rider out there. His name's Ruben Alcantara, and I don't remember his friends that did this project with him, but they did this fingers crossed project and developed a full suspension BMX bike, and then they were going to come out with it, but it was right around pandemic time and all this stuff, and they weren't coming out with it. And WeThePeople was going to come out with theirs, but then they decided to hold off to give fingers crossed more time, because they, you know, it's a BMX community. You don't want to get trashed on for copying somebody else's idea and then coming out with it first, right? Well, fingers crossed took too long. WeThePeople came out with it, blah blah blah. That's the whole story in a nutshell. Quickly done. One of the things WeThePeople didn't copy, because they basically copied fingers crossed, suspension design, everything almost identically, right? The only difference is they did 21.5 top tube length on the WeThePeople Swampmaster, and the fingers crossed is 22-inch top tube length. And this bike feels really short to me, even though my regular 20-inch BMX bike is a 21-inch top tube length. But what's going on here is you have the slacker head angle, and that changes everything. And because of the slacker head angle, they should have made this even longer. So I think 22 would have been spot on. So it feels a little short to me. It feels a little kind of twitchy, like I'm riding a smaller BMX bike than I would like to. It's really weird, but that is the case. So I really do wish they would have made these 22-inch top tube lengths, but they didn't, so I just got to get used to it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go hit this row of jumps, but I want to warm up first. For all those reasons I just talked about, I'm not super used to this bike. I haven't been jumping it, things like that, and I don't want to wreck myself just going balls out my first time. So I'm going to run through this jump line a few times, probably not filming, and then once I feel comfortable, then we'll get back to the video. After each run I have to climb back up here, so I'm feeling a little squirrely off the third jump. I don't know why, but it takes a lot to get used to this bike. Okay, here we go. First I felt squirrely off of that I felt fine. Okay, squirrely off the first one, okay off the others. Just takes a few runs through there to get kind of the feel of this bike. Okay. There's a lot of work to keep doing laps through this. I kind of want to do one more because I'm jumping, but I'm not jumping as good as I want to. It's hard to transition from a mountain bike to a BMX bike, the Swampmaster. Oh, this is like my 6th or 7th run through here. I'm afraid to really just give her like I would on a mountain bike. Still feel just a touch squirrely, and I really don't want to eat shit. Whew. All right, let's go. Okay, that felt better. Not perfect. Definitely better, but I'm so tired. I can't keep doing these runs. I'll wear myself out. So that's enough of that for the day, but I really do want to get this bike out jumping, because I feel like once I got used to it, I would do great. Just getting used to it. Whew. All right, let's go grab my camera, which is sitting over here off in the woods. Wow. Okay, here's kind of a fun line. You've seen it in my videos before on my mountain bikes, where it's mostly downhill and you flow through these berms, little rollers. so it's cornering is a different animal, but man, the bike is so agile. I love the agility of this thing. Yeah, there we go. Just cut into that turn, no problem. Wow, it's hot, muggy, and I have to sand all the entire time. I am just dying. Okay, here's an even skinnier skinny than what I did earlier. See how comfortable I feel. Oh gosh, I feel wobbly. Oh, nope. I felt like I was gonna run into the camera. Let me go back and do that again. Oh gosh, I feel wobbly. Oh. Nope. I felt like I was gonna run into the camera. Let me go back and do that again. Definitely feel way less stable. Wow. Can't believe I'm breathing this heavy. It's like being in the jungle right now. So humid. I wonder, you get less oxygen per breath when it's this humid? Sure feels like it. Okay. I might not be able to do this. I'm gonna go restart my 360 camera. I might not be able to do this. I'm gonna go restart my... I think it's the super narrow entrance that's freaking me out. Keep going. Breathe. I'm not breathing. There we go. No problem. Yeah. Keep going. Breathe. I'm not breathing. There we go. No problem. Woo. Much harder on this bike. This is a bonus log pile that wasn't there before, but it's there now. Thought I was gonna run into this too. Okay, catch my breath. See how the suspension handles log piles. Yeah, that definitely smooths it out. It's not so rough. Yeah, nice. When I get done with this video, I am going to, not done riding, the end of this video, I can't tell you what my wish list is for this bike or any future iterations of it, because I am having fun riding it, but it's got some drawbacks when we're riding mountain bike trails. I'll talk about them at the end of the video. So when it comes to stuff like this, what I like about this bike is its agility. I literally just pop right over those things, hardly even touch the log, just a little tiny bit. I'm having way more fun on this bike than I thought I would. This is a blast. And you've been following my channel, you know I talk about this being a pilot or being a passenger, and these bigger and bigger bikes the bike industry keeps making us just a passenger along for the ride, and any input you put into it is like a huge amount of effort, right? Then you got this end of the spectrum where it's just super fun, and I am 100% the pilot. I am in full control. This bike is super agile, maneuverable, and just downright fun. Yeah, ridiculous. I'm just sweating. Okay, I want to talk about this bike for a moment and talk about those little changes I would love to have made on this bike, or if there's another iteration of it, I would love these changes to be made, because then it would be mountain bikeable. The way the bike is now, it's fun, but it's not like what I would consider mountain biking. I'm basically just cruising the trail at a pretty moderate pace to save energy and then playing on the fun bits, and it's completely doable to do that. So if you have a Swampmaster and you want to go ride single track, have at it. If you're super fit, or used to riding single speed and you're okay with standing almost the entire time, by all means, it'd work for you. But the changes I would want to make would be, starting with the seat tube and seat post, is if they had made this bike with I think it's 30.8, whatever that diameter is that most dropper posts fit in, right? 30.6, 30. I'll put it down on the screen right there. There's a couple different sizes, but they could start with the first, the tier. Then you could run a dropper post, and a dropper post, especially considering you don't even have to have interruption or bends in the seat tube, so you could have a pretty long one. That would make this bike so fun to cruise around on mountain bike trails, because you could raise the seat, sit down, and pedal like you would a normal single speed mountain bike, right? That would be the first thing I would want changed. And then I would want the half inch or so, maybe even an inch, added to the front end. Maybe just half inch. Keep it agile. So 22, like the original fingers crossed full suspension BMX frame. I think 21 and a half, just too short. And note that I am 5'7" and I'm saying this feels too short. So yeah, it feels too short. So it'd be nice to have that longer front end. Those would be the two main things I would change. One thing I did change on this bike is I changed the gearing. It came with 28.9, so that's kind of a typical BMX, like freestyle bike gearing. That's what's on my regular BMX bike, is a 28.9. Problem with that is when you get off road like this, it's just too hard of a gearing. So I put a 25 on the front, which used to be kind of the norm, 25.9. That makes this bike much more doable pedaling around on all these trails, right? Because it just makes it easier to climb and get around. That 28.9 gearing was too hard on this bike, and you have to keep in mind with these 2.6 tires, which I love, they're gonna make the wheel a bigger diameter. I bet you this measured, I haven't measured it yet, I probably should, is gonna be close to 22. And on a 22, it's smarter to run 25.9, right? So I think that's a change they could make, is 25.9, but they probably are thinking that this isn't a mountain bike, right? It's a BMX bike with gear, with suspension. So they're just making it more like a slopestyle bike or a downhill bike. Like if you were riding this for slopestyle, which is basically what this is. This is basically a 20-inch slopestyle bike. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen anybody hitting a big slopestyle course on one of these, or the fingers crossed version of it. But I think the game changer on here would be a bigger diameter post with dropper post compatibility, because then suddenly you just made this bike way easier to ride around on single track trail and get to all these fun places. And you don't even need to put gears on it. Like I rode single speed a ton and it's fine. It's sure you can't get up these super steep climbs, but most other climbs you can get up pretty easy on a single speed. Just a bit more work, bit more fitness to do it. So I'm gonna complete this ride, but the rest of the trail is more like single track, or more XC style, so it's not that exciting on video, and I feel like I covered enough on this bike. But I'm pretty excited about how well this bike rides. I just really wish I could have the seat high when I needed it and then be able to drop it down for doing the fun stuff, right? Just like we do on our mountain bikes. The agility of this bike is awesome. It makes it so fun to ride, because you can just, you want to hop something, it just hops. It's so effortless compared to a regular mountain bike. A lot of that has to do with the smaller wheels, shorter chain stays, just shorter form factor altogether, right? And the lightweightness, all of that, this bike just pops. It's so fun. Jumping it, I would need more practice, but I bet you if I had the energy to go through that jump line a bunch more times, I'd be able to just start shredding on this thing and feel really comfortable jumping it. It's just a fun bike. That's all I have to say. Totally worth the purchase. So there you have it. I've actually been wanting to do this video for a while, and I just thought, well, today would be a good day to do it, because it rained a bunch, and so this is the only trail available at the moment. And it's not very hilly here, and I thought, you know, I need to take the Swampmaster out and do some mountain biking with it, right? If we even can consider this mountain biking, right? So I'm gonna go just finish the loop and just have some fun. So there you have it. If you want to see more on this bike, post in the comments. Let me know what you think. Appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace.